Well, we're going to do this number two. We had started and everything froze, so I had to reboot and start over again. So that's what's always really great about doing things live. And so I see somebody is here. Hi. Glad you made it onto the Facebook Live with us today. So one of the things that was coming up, hey, Shelley, I was thinking about, and when I do my topics for these broadcasts, I don't pre-plan as far as thinking out weeks and days ahead of what I'm going to want to address. And this morning I was thinking about, okay, what is really important in this time of year? And the topic of work-life balance came up for me. And so the question sometimes is, can it actually happen? Can we really have this? Hey, Jessica, thanks for coming on. And the answer is yes. But I think there is an underlying question that needs to be asked, and that's what is work-life balance? I've heard a real pervasive idea going around the community over the last, probably 12 months. And that is work-life balance really revolves around the self. It's a somewhat of a narcissistic, a central, it's all about me kind of concept. Hey, Ivor, thanks for coming on. And what it looks like and the way it's been explained to me is that if I feel like a day that I need to take for myself, a day to rejuvenate, a day, whatever it is that I have, maybe I have a job, maybe I have appointments, is at this point, it's more important that I take care of myself than any of those other obligations. And I think it's gotten skewed because over the period of time in my generation, it was about work, work, work. It was about creating, hey, Courtney, thanks for coming on. About creating more revenue, more production, being, just more. And often we forgot that there was other elements of life. And that's one of the reasons I created the Pinot system is because I did forget that as my boys were growing up, and those times and those memories are never going to be able to be recaptured by me. Now, I've got a great relationship with the guys and with the grandchildren now, and that end of it. Hey, Stan, that my brother just came on. Thanks for coming on. And the idea is that how can we have both? Have that responsibility, but also have that opportunity to really enjoy the journey. So, when we say that we're going to take care of ourselves, no matter who else is involved, that is where we start taking care of ourselves and putting the obligation on others to take up the slack. And I don't think we have that right. So I really believe that the life balance equation, hey, Danny, is really a conscious decision. And so the question that I would like to ask everyone, and I have a process here at the end of the Facebook Live to really work through this for yourselves if you so choose, is where do you stand in all of the areas of your life? And so the ones that normally come up for us, and if yours are a little different, if you have some you want to add or subtract others, that's totally okay. But for today's Facebook Live, I just wanted to really address the financial, the spiritual, the physical, the mental, and then the personal, family, and relationships really is a category unto itself. And where do you fit in those areas? So in order to figure that out, one of the easiest ways that I have found that I've used for myself and also with my clients over the years is to look at each of those areas, and this is really falling into the action steps. So if you would like to work through this in the next couple of days, I would love to hear your response, is that on a scale of 1 to 10, where on a 1 is not very high and you're really lacking, and 10 is, man, everything is cranking. Everything is perfect in this area. I wouldn't change a thing. But to look at each of these areas and rate yourself, rate your life on a 1 to 10 scale, and really take a look at where you are at present. Because sometimes what we do is we go, wow, I'm out of adjustment, so I'm working so hard and I'm going to chunk that over there, and now I'm going to take 3 months off. Or, my spiritual life is really, suffering, so I'm going to eliminate everything else except, and now we're out of balance still. We just kind of pinball, bounce around, and we really don't. Hey, Matt, thanks for coming on. We really don't get the full benefit of what I consider really that work-life balance, what it actually could be. It's never going to be perfect, by the way, in my opinion, but we can have a whole lot more than what most of us have had over the years just by paying attention in a very direct way. So by going through these different areas and rating how you are responding in these areas in your life right now. And then the second thing is, what do you want to improve? What are the things that you want to improve in each of these areas? And then start looking at how to do it. What does it look like? So maybe it's on the personal side. My wife and I for years have had a date night. And that date night is just a time when we go out to dinner. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it's a dedicated time that we catch up. Hey, Rose. The thing that is really important, again, it goes back to that conscious decision. What are the things that we're going to add in that are going to make a true difference to us, to me? Because there's things that I could tell you, here's some suggestions. Take a walk, do whatever. Maybe it's on a physical side. If it doesn't fit for you, it really doesn't matter. So to look at these areas, the areas that now you want to work on, but then go another step of what are the things that you can implement into those areas that are going to give you that different result. And then the third part is make a conscious decision to invest. And here's a little, not just make the change, but make a conscious decision to invest in the change and then do it. And sometimes we want to do all or nothing. Hey, Ann, thanks for coming on. This is not an all or nothing scenario. So adding in small things that we can, hey, Frank, this is obviously a topic that is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. But this is not a one and done. It's not an all or nothing. So start adding it a little bit at a time and seeing the change, seeing if that change, that implementation that you're adding into your life, onto your calendar, maybe even making it a little more complicated at times, or maybe getting up a little earlier to be able to get those different areas to fit that you want to implement. But to see the difference, and then as you see the results, and this is something that keeps us in the game, it's not about the big win. It's not about, I've won the lottery. I really believe it's the small wins that allow us to really embrace and engage long term for consider it the win of life. That when it's all over, it was a journey worth taking. And by doing this, we're being very conscious along the way, taking care of ourselves, not taking advantage of others, that I'm going to take care of myself, so I'm going to put more work, more responsibility onto you. But really it's working in conjunction with and seeing how everything fits. So, we get towards the end of the year, we start thinking about all the things we want to do or we haven't done. And really this is that time that we can start taking an assessment of where we are and making those conscious little decisions on making a difference in our life as we go into another season or another year. And over a period, and I really believe it's a really short period of time, you're going to see some major differences on the positive side. And Courtney says, progress comes step by step, and I agree. It's the journey, not the destination. Most of us in this frame of mind or in this, what we call life, the destination is not necessarily what we want. It is the journey and enjoying that. So with that, I'm planning on doing another Facebook Live on Thursday in a couple of days. And we'll get back into the swing of things here. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And big hugs and wheels. Hey, Barbie. Hey, thanks for coming on. Just again, I just appreciate each and every one of you being part of this community. And have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk in a couple of days on another Facebook Live. If you have any concepts that you would like or topics that you'd like me to address here, always please email me at Gary@GaryBarnesInternational.com. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.